Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. Today I'll be teaching you how to knit this beautiful versatile hat. You can put it on as a messy bun hat or with your hair down and close the top, or you can put it on in your neck like a collar. It's a very easy piece to do, and here is the list of material you're gonna need to make it. To make this messy bun hat, the yarn I'm gonna use is Craft Smart value 333 meters or 198 grams, 100% acrylic, medium fold, and the color is fuchsia. The netting needles are 5.5 millimeters. You're gonna need a cable needle, a crochet hook to do a chain. This is 4.5, but you can use a 4, you can use a 5. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissor and a pom-pom maker or a piece of cardboard to do 2 pom-poms. Something else that you're gonna need is a measuring tape, just in case you're using different size needle or different size yarn, or you knit tighter or more loose than me. That way you guide yourself through the measurement. That way you do your piece exactly the same size as mine. We're gonna start by leaving a tail long enough to cast on 80 stitches. So we're gonna wrap 40 times the yarn around the needle, and once you have your 40 times, you're gonna pull that yarn, you're gonna fold it in half, you're gonna leave just a little bit extra, and then you'll have the tail long enough for your 80 stitches. I'm gonna do that off camera, and I will meet you here to start casting on our 80 stitches. Here I have my tail. So we're gonna do a slip knot. I'm gonna wrap the yarn on my finger like that, cross it in the top, hold it right there, remove this one. See, you make a loop and you pass this one through that loop, pull it out, and you just pull this one and you make a slip knot. So with this one, you see, you can make it bigger and smaller, whatever size you need. So now with the netting needle, you're going to pass it through that loop. This is the tail, and this is the yarn attached to the ball. So you're going to pass these 2 fingers through here, and you're going to pull, holding this one here. When you pull, this is what you see. You're going to pass your needle through here. You're going to grab that strand of yarn and the other and pass it through that little loop. Move your finger and you can start your second stitch. Again, you do this, pass it through here, grab that one, pass it through that loop, move your finger, and you have your third one. So, and you always will have the same tension on your casting on. So you're going to continue doing this until you have your 80 stitches. So this is more like a 3-in-1, because this could be a neck warmer, a regular hat, or a messy bun hat. So this is very convenient piece to have in your wardrobe. So you're going to continue like this until you have your 80 stitches. Once you finish casting out your 80 stitches, it'll look like this. And in here, with the little tail that you have left, you're going to do a knot, but not too tight. You just want to secure the first stitch. That way your piece don't come undone. Now we're going to work a rib stitch for 4 centimeters. So you're going to start with 2 purls. And 2 net. Two purls, and 2 net. So you're going to continue doing this all the way to the end, and I will show you one more time and the way back, and then you continue working row number 1. And I start with 2 purl, so I had to finish with 2 net. So you have to make sure when you cast on and you do a rib stitch, you have to start always with 2 purls and finish with 2 net, or start with 2 net and finish with 2 purl. In this case, I start with 2 purl and I finish with 2 net. Now we're going to do row number 2. So for row number 2, you're going to do exactly the same as you did in row number 1. You're going to start with 2 purl, and every single row you're going to start exactly the same. 2 purl, 2 net, 2 purl, 2 net, 2 purl, and 2 net. You're going to continue doing this. You'll finish this row number 2. Row number 3, you start exactly the same, and you're going to continue doing the same repetition. 4 centimeters or 6 row for mine. I place a little ball of styrofoam at the end of my needles, that way you don't hear that clicking sound each time my needle touch the desk. It was driving me crazy. So I just stick them in, open a little hole, I stick them in and push them in as hard as I could. I don't glue or anything, but anyway, I put 5.5 millimeters at the end, that way I know. Now we're gonna start our stitch, and we're gonna do a cable stitch. So the repetition is and for 9 row. In row number 9 you cross the cable, and then you come back again from row 1 to 9. Number 9 again you do the cable. The repetition of the stitches or the rows are row number 1, 3, 5, and 7 are the same. Number 2, 4, 6, and 8 are the same. And then 9 is the cable. So we're going to start with row number 1. And you don't hear the needles clicking. We're going to start with 2 purl. I'm going to write the repetition of the pattern here, so that way you can guide yourself. So you're going to start with 2 purl, and you're going to do 6 net. This 6 net is for the cable. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to do 4 purl. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, you're going to do 6 net. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you have to do 4 purl. And that's the repetition you're going to do until the end. And you're going to finish with 2 purls. 2, 3, and 4. Now you have to do 6 net. So you start with 2 purl, you do 6 net, 4 purl, 6 net, 4 purl, 6 net, and so on, and then you do 6 net and 2 purls at the end. So the 2 at the end and these 2 are the 4 that you need in between the cable. This is row number 1, so you're going to continue doing this all the way to the end. Here I almost finished row number 1, so now I have to do 6 net, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I'm going to do 2 purls. So it's the same way that you start the row, you finish with 2 purls. And that's row number 1. Now we're going to work in row number 2. Now for row number 2, we're going to do the reverse of what we did in row number 1. Now these 2 are net. the two first one, 2 net, and these 6 are purl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now these 4 that we did purl in the right side, they are net in the wrong side. So we're going to net these 4. And we're going to purl these 6. And this is a repetition that you're going to do those 2 rows until row number 8. So it's very easy. And 6. Now you have to net 4. And purl 6. And then net 4, purl 6, and so on until you finish with 2 net. Now we're going to do row number 3, and row number 3 is a repetition of row number 1. Two purls, 6 net. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 4 purls. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now 6 net. So you're going to continue 6 net, 4 purls, 6 net, 4 purls, 6 net until the end, and you will finish with 2 purls. Now we're going to do the repetition of row number 2 and this row number 4. So you're going to net 2. So it's the reverse of what you did in the last row. You're going to purl 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You're going to net 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now you're going to purl 6, net 4, purl 6, net 4, purl 6, and then at the end you're going to finish with 2 net. After that, you're going to repeat those 4 rows until you get to row number 8, and then I will meet you here in row number 9 that I'm going to show you how to do the cable. I finished row number 8, and this is the right side of the piece where you see all the stitches here are net and these 4 are purls and the tails in the front. So now we're going to do the cable. So you're going to purl these 2 first stitches, 1 and 2, pass your yarn to the back. Now with the cable needle you're going to grab these 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to pass them to the back, and you're going to net these 3. 1, 2, and 3. If you like, with the same cable needle, you can net the other 3. I'm going to show you with this one first, and then after with a regular needle here. So you're going to net these 3, 1, 2, and 3. and you do the first cable here. You're going to bring yarn to the front and you're going to purl forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Place your yarn to the back, grab your cable needle, pass these 3 to the back, 1, 2, and 3, and knit these 3. And if you look, I'm holding the cable needle in between these 2 fingers, that way I don't lose those stitches. So now you're going to pass these 3 to your netting needle, and you're going to knit those 3. And you've done your second cable. You see, you had 2 ways. I like the first way because it's faster. Now you're going to purl. Once you finish your 4 purl, you'll bring your yarn to the back, and again you're going to get your cable needle and grab your first 3 stitches and pass through the back. And you see, automatically I put them in here in between my fingers, easier for me. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3, and with the cable needle I'm gonna do my other 3. I like it with the cable needle, that way I don't have to waste my time passing through here and pulling the stitches. Here the stitches are nice and loose. So you're going to continue doing this. I already had 4 and you have to do 4 more. In total, you have 8 cables. Now you do your 4 back purls. Sorry, I was thinking in Spanish. So purl in Spanish is back stitch, and net is front stitch. So it's a little bit different. Here I finished row number 9. So row number 9 is like doing row number 1, except that we did the crossing of the cable, so it counts as the repetition of row number 1. And then now from row number 10 to 16 is the repetition from row 2 to 8. So now here in row number 10 is 2 net, exactly row number 2, and 6 purl, and we're working in the back of the cable. And 6. Now we had to do 4 net. And now 6 purl. And you're going to continue with those repetitions what you've done so far until here, until row number 16. But remember, you have to keep track of the amount of row. That way the space in between the cable where you cross the cable is even. So from row number 10 to 16 you're going to do those repetitions. So row number 10 is repetition of row number 2. Row number 11 the repetition of 3. Row 12 is the repetition of 4. Row 13 is repetition of 5. Row 14 is repetition of 6. Row 15 is repetition of 7. And row 16 a repetition of 8. And then in row number 17 we'll do the cable again. We cross the cable, that will be the repetition of row number 9, and so on. So I'm going to continue doing those rows off camera, and I will meet you here to show you one more time how to do the cable, and you can take it from there. And it's not that many cable crossing that we're going to do, because this is a hat, so it's not that long. I have here my 16th row. Now in row number 17 we're gonna do the repetition of 1, but with a change of row 9, that is doing the cable. So you're gonna purl 2, bring your yarn to the back. You're gonna grab these 3 stitches, pass it to the back and hold it right there, and you're gonna knit the next 3. You see, it's the same repetition. And I'm gonna do my other 3. I like to do these 3 with the cable needle because when you pass them through the other side, you're pulling your yarn and the cable don't look as nice. You see, it looks really nice, but if you pass them back to here, it will be pulling in here. You see a very weird cable. So you're going to continue with these 4, purl, and again yarn to the back, and you're going to do your cable. So this is the repetition that you are going to do until you piece measure 19 centimeters. So the next cable, you're going to cross the stitches in row number 25. So the next row after this one will be the repetition of row number 2, and that will be row number 80. So I'm going to continue off camera and I will meet you here when I have my 19 centimeters. That's why I mentioned that you need a measuring tape. And make sure that when you finish the last row, you are working the right side. You do the right side and then measure through the wrong side. Make sure that you have 19 centimeters because the next stitch that we're going to do just for one row had to be done in the wrong side of the piece. But this is the same repetition from row now after you finish this one, from row 18 to row number 24, and then in 25 you do the cable if you don't have your 19 centimeters done. Here I have 19 centimeters, but I finished in the right side. So I'm gonna do one more row and then I will meet you here in the back of the piece. So this was row number 30 that I did. So I'm gonna do 31 and then I will meet you here in row number 32 to continue with the hat or collar. Now we're gonna do this row, and this is the only row in this hat or collar that we're gonna do the space to pass the crochet chain that we're gonna do. Okay, so you have to make sure that you have your 19 centimeters. So now we're gonna work in a purl stitch, hold this row, we're gonna purl 1, yarn over, and 2 together. Now is yarn over and 2 together, yarn over and 2 together. You have to make sure that you always do your yarn over, because if you don't do your yarn over, when you do the 2 together, you're going to be decreasing, and the yarn over is the increase for that decrease that you do when you do the 2 together. So you have to make sure that before you do the 2 together, you have the yarn over. Okay? You did yarn over, and you did 2 together, and then you have one left, and that one you are going to do just a purl, and you're going to turn your work around, and you're done the single row that is to pass the chain that we're going to do in here. Once you finish that row, you are going to have here your 80 stitches. So we're going to do a rib stitch again, like this one, of 2 by 2 for 2 centimeters more. So here you're going to start the same way you did in here. You start with 2 purl. That's 1 and 2. Yarn to the back, and you're gonna do 2 net, and the first net is that yarn over, so you're gonna net that, and the next one. Yarn to the front, and you're gonna purl 2, as this one here, and the next one. Yarn to the back, and you're gonna net 2. So it's the same repetition at the border here, but now you have the little holes to pass the chain that we're gonna make with the crochet hook. So right now we have here with that row we have 20 centimeters, so you're gonna work until you have 22 centimeters long. So you have to do 2 more in here. I'm gonna work off camera, and I will let you know how many rows I will do of this at the end. So this will be row number 1. I did 36 rows. Now in row number 37 we're gonna cast off or bind off our piece. So we're gonna work the stitches as we see them. So you're going to purl the first and second stitch. So you're going to pass the first one and tap the second one and cast it off. Now these two are net, so you're going to net this one, and the one in the back you're going to pass it and top and add that one like that. And the next one is a net, and you will do exactly the same. So the next two are purl, so you're gonna purl the first one and pass the one in the back and top and out. So you're gonna continue doing this all the way to the end, and you're gonna end up with only 1 stitch on your needle. Here you have 1 left. So now you're going to cut a tail long enough for sewing. So you're going to measure 1, 2, like 3 times, and you're going to cut the tail for sewing. And don't look too big, but in this stretch you have elasticity. Now you're going to pass the tail through the last stitch, and you're going to close that stitch. So you're going to grab your 2 ends like this, and you are going to sew them here together. I'm going to do that off camera. By now you should know how to sew the ends together. So in a zigzag, and you see the one with a shorter border is for the top, and the one with a little bit more is for the bottom. With this piece of cardboard I'm going to make 2 pom-poms. So I already made one. I had to make 1 more. What I did for this one was I wrap around 140 times. Each time I went down here I count 140 times, and then I cut a strand of yarn. I pass it through one end and the other one, tied it really well, and the other side cut in here and here, and then I gave shape to the pom-pom, because when you cut them both ends it's a little raggy, you know, like shaggy, I don't know. And then I cut around and I give it the round shape. this piece of cardboard measure 12 centimeter by 10. So the square inside can be bigger, can be smaller. The important thing is this from here to here, that is the size of the pom-pom. So I'm gonna do the other one off camera and I'll show you how you're gonna finish it up. Once you have your two pom-poms, we're gonna do the chain with a crochet hook. So you're gonna do a loop and then you're gonna go here where you did the knot, and very careful, you're gonna pass your hook and that loop that you did, you're gonna pass it through, and you're gonna start making chains in here. You see, you already have the first pom-pom secure. So now you're gonna do chains until you have one long enough that you can pass it through your head and through your collar and do a bow. Okay, so I'm gonna do mine off camera. I will let you know how many I will do for mine. And when you finish, don't tie the other pom-pom because first you have to pass the chain through the little holes in here. I did a chain of 100. Now I'm gonna cut my yarn. And with that tail, we're gonna attach the pom-pom, but first we're gonna pass it through here. Now we're gonna start passing. You're gonna do this all the way around until you get near this one here. Okay. Now with the crochet hook, you're gonna pass it through here, and then you're gonna pass this tail. You're gonna secure it well in here, and you're gonna cut the rest as this one and this one, and I'll show you the end result. Once you finish, it will look like this. So you can use it as a color. For example, if you go out and it's snowed that you know, snowing or anything, you don't want anything in your head, you use it as a color. But if you went out and when you come out of the place that you went in, it started snowing and you don't have a ponytail or a bun, you come here and you close it completely like this and do a bow, and it's nice and close, and it's a hat. But if you have a ponytail or a bun, you just leave it a little bit open in the top to take your hair out, do your bow again, and it'll look like this. It's a beautiful multi-purpose piece. So the amount of yarn that I used was 92 grams of the 198. I have 106 here left in here. So with one of these you can do two of the same or different, something different. But now I'm gonna put it on my daughter and I will show you the end result. It's beautiful. Well, this is the end result, and look how nice it looks, like the color. And now I'm gonna show you in the hat version. Well, look how nice it looks with the piece as a hat with your hair down, very original. So now I will show you how you can put it on with a ponytail. Well, this is the third way that you can wear this hat, as a collar, as a closed hat, as a messy bun hat. It's amazing. So I hope you guys like it and give it a try, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this piece and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman, or you can find me in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please subscribe and share my videos with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. And don't forget to check my other videos. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.